Dima, a Ukrainian infantryman with the 1st Separate Tank Brigade, walks along a path through the clover towards the final trench, with Russian troops only 700 meters away. Despite months of attacks, the brigade has lost less than 10 meters of territory, and Dima claims that Russian forces have sustained heavy losses. The area is a stricken landscape where trenches lie exposed to Russian observation posts and surveillance drones, and the danger lies outside the trenches. Dima describes how a moment's inattention while smoking a cigarette can end in death if a mortar or grenade lands nearby. He also explains how they take cover in trench dugouts during attacks, with one soldier staying on watch for enemy infantry and drones. When asked about his family, Dima says he only has his mum and calls home twice a day, but doesn't tell her everything. The 1st Separate Tank Brigade is waiting for the arrival of Western tanks, including the British Challenger 2, and has already sent men for training on German Leopard tanks. The area is a war-torn landscape with trenches and bomb craters, where the Ukrainian tanks and infantrymen are standing firm in the south of Donetsk province. The Ukrainian forces are holding their ground despite losing ground further north in Bakhmut. The zero line, the final trench, is ahead, and Dima treads carefully along the path. The Russian troops are always watching and waiting for an opportunity to attack, and the danger lies outside the trenches, where landmines and unexploded shells litter the ground. Dima believes that the brigade can win with the various assault brigades and tanks they have been given. Dima describes how the Russian forces shell every day, and they have an unlimited amount of shells stored in warehouses. He explains that they take cover in trench dugouts during attacks, and one soldier stays on watch for enemy infantry and drones. There is fear, but he has learned to cope, and it has become as solid as a rock. The 1st Separate Tank Brigade is one of the most decorated in the army, and its commander is awaiting the arrival of Western tanks. The danger lies outside the trenches, and a moment's inattention can end in death if a mortar or grenade lands nearby. Dima has no family other than his mum and calls home twice a day but doesn't tell her everything. There is disagreement among the soldiers about what the Russians are firing, and there is uncertainty about the drones overhead. As the sun sets, a fresh shift of soldiers takes up positions along the trenches, with tanks and artillery dominating the area. The 1st Separate Tank Brigade is waiting for the arrival of Western tanks and has already sent men for training on German Leopard tanks.